Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. All is good. Thank you all for joining this, wonderful Sunday. Very excited, eagerly looking forward to listen and learn from each other. Promise we will have a great learning, useful session there. Really appreciate all your enthusiastic support, very active participation in our mission. We welcome wholeheartedly all new participants to our VST platform. Very, very excited. We switched to Google Meet. I think little technical troubles there, but we'll be okay, I think, Now, soon we will be on YouTube there. Part of our holistic health and well-being series, noble elevating aspect of our human life, we are bridging together ancient scriptures, teachings, practices, modern scientific evidence-based medicine and research tools. The whole goal is to, know medication with dedication and meditation, avoid unnecessary expensive physician visits, tests, procedures, and medications there. It will save money and medical care, reduce the stress, prevent, cure our problems. This is a part of our lifestyle medicine series. We all know very well the 7 limbs part of this, which includes, the physical exercise, the healthy, preferably plant-based nutritious diet, the stress management, work-life balance, sleep management is the biggest center pillar of all the things, and the social relationships management, substance abuse avoidance, and the spiritual practices like yoga, pranayama, mindful meditation. I always mention about we should develop scoring systems. Each can develop their own score to see the individual progress there. Part of a series we are discussing today about the mind control, stress, and diseases management. I think Venkatesham and Raghu will say a few words, then we'll ask Dr. Rudy and Dr. Bhatt on the platform or not, Dr. Chokalingam, and they will speak, and we'll open question and answer session. Just a little bit, I will mention about, mind, stress, and diseases. There are numerous factors that can impact the human longevity. This includes, basically genetics, lifestyle factors such as diet and exercise, access to the health care, environmental factors such as pollution and stress levels, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, avoiding unhealthy habits such as tobacco use and excess alcohol consumption, monitoring and managing any health conditions can all contribute to a longer and healthier life. Additionally, staying socially connected and engaged in cultivating a positive outlook can also promote to longer life. Basically, our longevity basically depends on 3 factors: the genetics that which are born with, we can change; environmental factors, internal, external, affecting the gene expressions; and the lifestyle, the most important factor. Our longevity actually consists of 10 to 20% genetic makeup, 20% environment, and 60 to 70% it's all about the lifestyle. That is the major factor. If you take a worst scenario, bad genes, bad environment, bad unhealthy lifestyle, will be in trouble in 40s, 50s there. If you have a good genes, good environment, good healthy lifestyle, people live up to 90s and 100s. Even if you have a bad genes, but you live in a good environment, good healthy lifestyles, we have seen that 70 to 80 years they could able to. I have seen in my practice so many patients with a simple lifestyle, which is the 70 to 80% of the longevity depends upon insulin dependent rheumatoid CF patients born with congenital disorders. They live long and healthy, happy lives there just because of the lifestyle. We learned the other day I saw a 94-year-old guy, and then he said his secret was he eats 3 to 4 prunes and 1 banana every day. And asthma patient said he started walking and eating healthy diet. I think his asthma is gone. I think he's doing really well. So even if you good genes, but if you have a bad environment, healthy lifestyle is the key factor. I think 70 to 80% of our longevity depends upon. For good lifestyle, I think you need a mind control, and we know. In our Hindu scriptures, Arjuna was unable to control his mind. He's overwhelmed with attachment and emotions, and he collapses in the war. And he asks, Lord Krishna how to control his mind, and then why it is so difficult. He says, Krishna says, I know it is very, very difficult because it's a monkey mind. As a tendency go follow the senses. It's like a wind that you cannot able to control. Mind is like a wind. But he says it is possible by abhyasa and vairagya by practice and detachment, it's possible. What mind is a whole different, topic there. We all know that connecting mind and body is the breath. To control a breath, you control your mind, which controls the body, basically. We hear scientific evidence, as most diseases are due to bad lifestyle, stress related, and also psychosomatic. We already talked on this platform. Just a couple things about effects of stress. The stress can cause, the signs and symptoms of stress include sleeping too much or not enough, changes in the appetite, eating more or less, significant weight loss, frequent bouts of crying, trouble with memory, concentration, anxious thoughts, muscle tension, irritability, feeling low or depressed, being easily angered, stomach problems, avoidance of work, school tasks, headaches, and trembling, feeling faint. These are all part of the stress. I just want to mention, few things that Rudy mentioned about daily prescriptions to reduce stress. Create a spiritual safe place in your home, meditate, visualize an image with what you want to achieve. Say something thankful when you go to the bed every night, and say something optimistic and joyful every morning. Don't focus on negativity. Practicing yoga, tai chi, walk, dance, enjoy exercise. 15 to 30 minutes, meditative walking, really think positively, live in the present moment, not in the future or the past. Enjoy the music, eating proper food, organizing time, let go of monkey mind, live the life with gratitude. So the whole point is mind control is the key, and stress causes 75% of illnesses. With this brief introduction, I'll request Venkatesham to and Raghu say a few words, and then we'll go with Dr. Cashman and the others to follow up.
Yeah, good evening, good morning, everybody there, and good evening in other parts of the world. Today we have joined this Google Meet. It's a good platform, and compared to Zoom, now we'll be directly on YouTube also, and it is, whatever we speak is getting transcribed also. So we need not rewrite again in words. So transcription is happening, and also same time we will be on YouTube in next meetings. So now with this technological improvement and number of other people joining us, so this should go in a long way to make what we are planning to do as a single source, like an encyclopedia about complete health essentials on one platform. So now Raghu is unable to join because he is taking up care of a critically ill patient. He said he will join as soon as that person becomes stable. I think he will take half an hour. That's what he messaged me. So Raghu will not be joining immediately. After half an hour, he'll be there. But number of people, those who will be connected with the talk directly, they will be on the Google Meet, and some will be in the guest. So they will be able to see, but they will not be able to talk. And those who are like general people who like to see, give us feedback, they will be on YouTube live channel. They will not be in the Google Meet. So that's how we have segregated. So the people who actually contribute will be in the Google Meet. Guests whom we want to attend will be in the guest in the Google Meet guest room, and all others will be in the Google Live channel. They'll be giving us comments, and we'll be recording everything in the Google comments also. So with this improvement, I think next time writing a book and all will be quite easy. So this platform now it has to grow into leaps and bounds. Thankfully to elders and our godfather kind of Rudy being there. So he's there with all enthusiasm. He's like 18-year-old boy trying to showcase his new learned techniques. So he's there like Vishwa Pitamaha. In Mahabharata, a person called Bhishma. So he is the one who guides everybody, but he takes a back seat all the time. Though he is the single biggest warrior, he could have completely changed the course of the entire Mahabharata, but he didn't do. So he gives everybody an option, a chance to do their bit. Likewise, Rudy is also doing the same way. So with his able guidance and very enthusiastic and very active support from Dr. Sudhir and Dr. Benj, Raghu, we are doing this platform, and in India also lots of our colleagues and friends are actively taking part, and everybody is excited that such a platform should come to light quickly to common man, common people to understand all these things. So thank you. Now, I think Sudhir, we can ask Dr. Rudy to join. Once Raghu joins, I'll let you know, then we can ask him to share his wisdom.
Yeah. Dr. Cashman, I think you're ready to go on. I think you have to unmute the, and then you can start speaking on it. Yeah. Unmute the.
You just unmute your speaker.
Rudy, Dr. Cashman, I think you have to unmute the speaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me? Okay.
We're good. We're good.
You can hear me now? Okay. Well, thank you anyway. Thank you for the kind words. I just like you to know on Tuesday, I'll be 87. And I plan to live to be 100. But, I wrote a book many, many years ago. Being a neurosurgeon, I realized what I was looking at most of the time was stressed out people. And they didn't need surgery. So, and I'm not here selling books, but I like to hold it. I wrote this book here, The Mind-Body Connection. Yeah. And just look at the picture, all the things that I recommend, from yoga to tennis to dancing to whatever. But the most important thing, no matter what, is stress is what determines what we do. And the reason is, and remember, Descartes in the 1600s said, I think, therefore I am. That's how important our thought process is. Our brain has 1 trillion brain cells, okay? 1 trillion brain cells, but they are connected through neurotransmitters, neuropeptides, 100 trillion connections. So how you think is everything. We talk about nutrition, for example, but nutrition is done, what we pick to eat is really based on our brain cells. We're trying to feel good. And we pick the foods, sugar, and that's what the world is doing, to feel good, but they're becoming sick. And the amygdala, the part of the brain, has to do with our emotions. And we think we need to eat this to feel good. We have in our body a dopamine center that makes us quick like that. A cigarette or a glass of whiskey or wine or something, you feel good just for a few minutes. And then we have to light up again. Well, we also have a serotonin center a little further back that lasts longer. So if I walk around my pond, or I pet my dog or my cats, I feel longer for a long period of time. That's serotonin hormone in our body. Candace Pert, who has been mentioned on these programs before, I read her book maybe 20 years ago. Well, more than that, because she wrote this book like in 72. That's when I read it as a neurosurgeon. And what she discovered was that our cells have on them receptors. She saw them through an electron microscope. And then she just discovered the neuropeptide receptors, our own endorphin systems that make us feel good. And then she realized the rest of the hormones, the 50 different hormones that we make, are neuropeptides. They all send a message to the cell through these receptors, although some chemicals can go through the cell without entering the receptor first. So you heal the mind, you heal the body. What are the stress hormones? We have a stressful thing happen in our life, which can be all day long. It's not just like that. Things are up and down. I was a neurosurgeon. You can imagine I felt stressful every day. Yes. So I took up tennis and I played at night, every single night almost. Why did I do that? To make myself feel better. So what are the stress hormones? Epinephrine, norepinephrine, cortisone, put out by the adrenaline gland. It goes all over the body. And then a lot of the people I was looking at in my practice have what we call psychosomatic diseases. They came to see me, and they were sent to me because the X-ray report interpreted by the radiologist, about 4 or 5 pages long, because this lady say had, when I think of one right now, had neck pain, and but instead of spending my time on the X-ray, I said to her, "What's going on in your life?" Well, her husband left her 6 months ago. She lost her job a week ago, and she had 3 children. Can you imagine what she felt like? And it was these neurotransmitters, these hormones, I decided, that were affecting her muscles, so blood vessels, hitting those receptors and causing this pain. I didn't operate on her X-ray, which I've mentioned to you before, and is extremely important in medicine. And I wrote a very short book on it if you want to read it, it's Amazon. We have placebo. I show you something and say, this will make you feel better. 70% chance you will feel better. But if I do what's called a nocebo, I rarely speak to anyone that knows what it means. It's in the dictionary. It's actually in the nocebo. So we, in medicine, you get and I suggest to the people that certainly some things you need surgery right away, but many things, they'll take this MRI or this X-ray and this 4 or 5 page report by the radiologist. You say, we got to operate on this right away. Wait a minute. I think we need to look and see if those neurotransmitters, neuropeptides, are the ones that affected the blood vessels to the muscles. And it's really stress reaction. And instead, you need yoga, a massage, music, dancing, some positive statements. So we have a unity of the mind and the body. Candace Pert is connected. The most, remember I talked about the serotonin, the long-term drug. 80% of the serotonin is made in our gut. Yes, it's made in our body. So the brain and the body and the body and the brain are connected, and we have to keep that in mind. So most things people go see a doctor about stress. Over 50% of the problems that we have are stress and needs to be addressed instead of surgery or dangerous medication. The drug companies have overtaken the world. They want to drug everything. But if you read Lustig's books, for example, you will see most of the diseases that we have are not druggable. They're guttable. They're not druggable. What we eat cures most of those diseases, not some drug that we take. So in essence, we have a second nervous system. We get the brain, but we have a gut. The food we eat affects those live bacteria sitting down there, and they put out stress hormones or hormones like serotonin that make us feel better. So how do emotions affect us and our immunity? We have in our brain the limbic system. The limbic system connects the rest of the brain, the frontal lobe, the occipital lobe. It connects it to our brainstem, the limbic system. Okay, then we have the hypothalamus, which puts out a lot of hormones that make us feel better or worse, depending what we're eating, what we're thinking. And then it connects the pituitary, and they put out more hormones, and they send messages to the adrenal glands, and the adrenal gland sends messages back. And then we have the sympathetic nervous system, and that's the stressor. And then we have the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the relaxer. So our body and our brain are interconnected. We are not just our organs. We are our neurotransmitters and the hormones that connected us all. So, what's the neurobiology of stress? A century ago, we thought stress, like when they built the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City, we thought the mechanical forces acting on our physical forces. Today, barely 100 years, but the pressure, whether through a direct force or tension exerted on a person or a thing, that's stress today. So it's mechanical and it's mental. So that can lead to anxiety or strain. John Locke, 1698, said, the mind must not be put to stress beyond the strength. And then we break down, develop diseases. So stress has replaced infection as the number one health facing the world today. Stress. And stress, you say, well, no, it's food. But actually, food we eat that makes us unhealthy is a result of stress. And I'll be done in a minute here. Herb Benson at Harvard, who I went to visit. I went to Harvard to meet Herb Benson. He's the one who came up with the relaxation reflex. You know, the Eastern countries, they were onto relieving stress a lot sooner than the Western countries. They had the relaxation technique and massage, the massaging. They developed those things a long time ago. They even tied it to their religion. So faith is a placebo, can be a placebo to some people. And then we have the voodoo effect. Even Albert Schweitzer, you know, who went to Africa in 1910 or so, in before, would see a voodoo doctor, and he showed Norman Cousins, who went to visit him. He showed it. He said he saw a bunch of natives, and he said a third, they can relieve their sickness by giving them some herbs. As long as they believe it, they get well. Another third, he did some incantations and dances and things, and they felt better. And another third, he sent to Dr. Schweitzer for surgery. So the East knew a lot more about it before we did. And so love is the answer in most cases. And lastly, I can mention, because we're going to have a cardiologist aboard shortly too, is that your heart is connected to the brain. So a lot of people, for example, watching a World Soccer Championships, for example, there'd be 6 to 10 deaths because of stress reaction to the score or what somebody did. So I think I've said enough. A lot has been said already, but let's incidentally, I encourage you to really read detail. I wrote this book 20 years ago, and I reread it, The Mind Body, in great detail. It's more than you want to know. But and the other thing is that you can connect, and I want this association to connect to maybe over 700 TV shows I've done before on wellness, and the way you connect to them. I mean, they're half-hour, 1-hour lectures. You may fall asleep. We can get a lot of knowledge, and what you can do, put in Cashman Wellness, and 700 shows will show up, Facebook, YouTube, and you can gain more knowledge, because that's what we're all about, spreading knowledge throughout the world, trying to keep people healthy with very simple things. What I'm talking about is not difficult. I get up with a smile, connect to nature, and take up tap dancing. I'm relaxed. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Rudy. It was wonderful there. I think we have a Chokkalingam. I think he's with the yoga and everything. He would like to, share, and then we will open the, Dr. Lakshmi Garu and Anil Kumar will say, a few words, and then we'll open the questions there. I think, he's going to, share us the yoga and the literature in there. Yeah. Go ahead, Chokkalingam.
Yes, Sudhir. We had difficulty getting onto this program. So I was talking to Dr. Bhatt for 20 minutes. We were
Oh, really?
moving from, they're not able to get on to him. Can you contact and tell him that you can?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's on his phone. I mean, I had a trouble to, for 5-10 minutes he's in there, I guess. Yeah, I'll text
Well,
him.
no, I joined 5 minutes before, but I could never come here. But this time I came, so I don't understand. This is the third
Oh,
time
okay.
I attempted, and then we went back to the Zoom, and so
Oh, really? Yeah. So I think we will. Nikhil, are you there in the background to just fix all these things, or?
Yeah, sir, we are working on it.
if you have Dr.
Oh, okay.
Bhatt's number, go ahead and call him and let him know. So.
Sure. Yeah. Let me. I'll take care of that. I think Then we'll go with the Chakalingam. I think you can start the share the knowledge now. I think, and then we'll follow up with Anil and everything. Yeah. You can double tap to pick up 3 people. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, good evening, everyone. I'm Chokalingam. I'm thankful to everyone for adding me to this wonderful platform. Nikhil, are you able to see this PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, yes. So, I made a PPT. This is self-explanatory. I am presenting it. Only whenever there is some explanation is needed, I will talk. I'm happy for adding me to this elite group. There are many great doctors here. They have achieved many things in their own profession. At the same time, they are recognizing the limitations of the modern medical system. That's something wonderful. They are able to see the other side of the coin also. Why I'm telling this, I have seen many other doctors also who say that the modern medical system is perfect and every other system is fake. But in this group, I'm able to see all the high doctors, high achievers who are recognizing the importance of the other systems also. So with this introduction, let me come directly to the point. I am asked to talk about the yoga for the well-being of the human person. According to World Health Organization, the definition of health is complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. I'm sure everyone knows this. But whether the modern medical system has achieved this definition of health given by WHO, this is my opinion. Okay, to my knowledge, the modern medical system has focused more on the body and its well-being. Definitely, in the last 50 years, we have achieved tremendous progress. We are able to even replace a heart and many vital organs. Many diseases are cured. Definitely, wonderful things have done. And definitely, the credit goes to the modern medical system. But I feel that regarding the mental well-being, the modern medical system has not done well. My opinion is that modern science has not understood the mind, the concept of mind itself in the correct perspective. I think the Sigmund Freud, all those people, they say they did too much of wrong analysis of the mind. That's my personal opinion. Correct me if I am wrong. Okay. Whereas Vedanta tells mind in a different way. For Vedanta, mind comes from the Anandamaya Kosha. The basis of everything is Ananda, whereas Sigmund Freud and all other modern scientists say that the basis of everything is something trouble. So that's where the modern medical system is not able to understand the mind in the right perspective, and that's why it is not able to solve the problems of the mind also. And coming to the social well-being, I feel that the modern medical system has completely ignored the social well-being. Yes. Now, can we use the ancient wisdom? Let it be yoga, The yoga may be from Patanjali or from Buddha or from Vedas or from even Chinese or whatever with it. Can we use the ancient wisdom for the modern life? In that, I have taken only the Indian yoga part. Many of you know the Panchakoshas theories of a being. The Panchakoshas theory says that the human being is made of 5 sheets. It is not the compartments. They are not different parts, but they are sheets. They are intertwined. Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. You're all elite people. I don't think I need to explain this concept. You know that. According to yoga, based on the modern research in the last 50 years, the problem starts at Manomaya Kosha. Because Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha are generally perfect. Generally problems will, Anandamaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha, generally the problems do not arise. The problem starts at the Manomaya Kosha. It is called as the Adi. Adi means starting point. Slowly it will become the Vyadi. So problem starts at Manomaya Kosha. The mind, as Dr. Rudy Kachman was saying like a monkey. Okay, it doesn't follow the dharma, or that is called the discipline in eating, sleeping, etc. It will manifest as Vyadi at the Pranamaya level and Annamaya level. How the Adi becomes Vyadi, that is how the problem starts at the mind and slowly it appears as a problem at the body level. In phase 1, it appears at the psychic state. For example, improper timings of the food and sleep. Slowly it will cause some irritations to the person. At second stage, physiological symptoms will appear. That is Manomaya and Pranamaya Kosha. At that stage it will appear. Then at the next stage, it will appear at the Pranamaya and Annamaya level. For example, then hypertension slowly will lead to diabetes. At the fourth stage, diabetes will lead to infections. That will, pathological changes can be seen. That is Annamaya Kosha. So that's how the Adi, which started at the Manomaya Kosha, that is at the mental level, becomes the Vyadi at the pathological, the Annamaya or body level. Now, the yoga is to bring the balance in the system, what we call as the homeostasis. Today, everybody is talking about the stress management and say that yoga helps for the stress management. But stress as such is not bad. Stress is natural for every being, not only for human beings, for animals, birds, everywhere it's there. Even among the hunters, stress is there because he doesn't know whether he will be living for the next day, whether he will be getting food next day. Even among kids also, stress is there. But what happens is, in a stressing situation, as Dr. Kachman was saying, sympathetic nervous system causes necessary changes in the system to respond to the demanding situation. Certain hormones and chemicals are released by the body to address the situation. It is natural. But what happened exactly is the human mind, when it started growing, different from animals or other beings, it started remember too much of memory power, too much of intelligence, too much of future ambitions, all those things. The parasympathetic nervous system failed. The parasympathetic nervous system is supposed to bring back the system to the normal state, but the parasympathetic nervous system failed, and that is why the sympathetic nervous system, which releases the necessary chemicals, continues to release the chemicals forever. That is causing all the problems. So human mind, as in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayo. The human mind can cause the misery, that is bandha, and also the bliss, that is moksha. In animals, bandhas are very little, very, very little bandhas will be there. And moksha also, I don't think they can achieve because their world is limited. Whereas only for the human beings, it is possible to go for the moksha. But many thousand, only one among the thousands are able to go to that level. All other beings, all other human beings are caught up in the bandhas. What is the reason? There are two sides of the human growth of the human mind. One side of the growing human mind is it is causing the development of the civilization, science, technology, economic development. All these were made possible only because of the increasing intelligence of the human mind. The other side of the growing human mind is disturbance to the system inside, that is homeostasis, and also to the environment. Now, how does yoga promotes holistic well-being? In the last 2-3 days, I have gone through Google Scholar and also many journals which are indexed in PubMed and all those things. I find hundreds of scientific studies are done where in the last few decades, the yoga has shown impact on the many health factors, especially on diabetes, hypertension, anxiety, pulmonology, etc. Now, yoga can be done in two ways. One as part of life, because means say 1 or 2 hours every day, people do some exercises called asanas and some pranayamas and some meditation. That is one thing. So many people are doing it now. That improves definitely the physical well-being and to some extent the mental well-being. If yoga is taken as a way of life, where the yamas and niyamas are actually for social well-being. That is the code of conduct, how a person should live. That will take care of the social well-being also. So what I finally want to say is human mind is expanding in its intelligence and its capacity. The speed is growing to the infinity, but it has no brakes and gears. That is causing all the problem, both to the person and also to the world. So yoga is like putting a braking system and gear system to that mind, so which will actually help to increase the capacity of the mind. Thus, the yoga results in more productive mind and better one. So this is my small presentation. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. That's wonderful. All the 5 koshas, and then how to control the mind, and then abhyasa and vairagya, and then this kind of how to that helps with the stress and everything is in there. I'll I don't know, Pratap Maharaj might not be there. Dr. Ashmagara, you want to share something, and Anil Rao, and then Padmaja will follow it up. Yeah.
Well, as I said, I joined late, so I didn't listen to everything everybody has said. So I may be repeating some of the things. I just want to say how stress can influence chronic pain and, in general, the life. About almost 40 to 50% of the patients with chronic pain suffer with generalized anxiety disorder, not just the stress, but a diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder. So it also causes multiple other issues related to it: increased blood pressure, heightened muscle preparedness, sweating, alertness. So in olden days, we were always giving diazepam and Xanax and all these kinds of drugs. The Purdue Pharma, I forgot the name of the doctor, but when they invented the diazepam, he went to Senate and testified that within 15 years, he wanted every American to be on a diazepam because so it makes them so much feel so much better. So that is, and we were thinking that was scientific evidence, but all he did was he just produced a nice looking letterhead and put that on there. So, but that is not how we are supposed to be treating. It does have many effects, including the physical disorders. It causes multitude of cardiovascular, respiratory, sleep, immune, reproductive organ disorders, and immune suppression. These things are extremely important. Now, we were talking about neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity actually works as a bad thing here. The people just get used to it, and then neuroplasticity takes over. It causes even more problems than we ever have, and it becomes a permanent stressor in their lives. That is what leads to the anger, burnout, concentration issues, fatigue. Like we were talking offline with Venkat, how physician stress and physician burnout are a result of some of these issues. And they also start feeling insecure, forgetful, irritable, restless, sad. Their blood pressure goes up. They start eating more. Then they develop obesity. After that, they will develop hypertension, and then they develop diabetes. So stress is cause of most of the disorders, if we want to put that way. And when you are stressed out, you can have small injury. Then it becomes into chronic pain with the central sensitization and developing neuroplasticity. The same thing can happen. You have some injury, later on you get stressed beyond the acute stress. As he said, acute stress is a good thing. It protects you, just like acute pain, it protects you. Chronic stress or chronic pain, both are very bad issues. So I don't think increasing the blood pressure is always a good thing. It's never a good thing. When we go to a doctor, we call it white coat syndrome. Everybody calls it, I guess. But some people don't get that. Some people, if they don't have good relationship with the doctor, does not have good mannerism and not friendly, then their blood pressure does go up. That is the nocebo effect in a different manner talking about. If you're pleasant and happy, talk to the patients much in a better fashion, make them understand, then that creates the placebo, a pleasant effect. So it reduces the stress. They start smiling. So PTSD, sleeping difficulties, like his specialty is sleeping difficulties to theirs. So sleeping is the best thing, best medicine we have. Again, exercise is extremely important. Exercise does reduce the stress significantly. Animal models and even human models, studies have shown that exercise reduces the stress and it improves the nutrition and improves everything else. So other techniques, multiples of you have talked. So those are the small comments I had. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I think it's all falls back to the lifestyle medicine, I guess, physical exercise and healthy, mostly plant-based diet and, stress and work-life balance, sleep management, social relationships, substance abuse, and all the other that we, the practices and yoga and pranayama and mindfulness exercises there. That helps with the mind control and also at the same time with the stress and then, diseases management. I think it's all pretty much interlinked. All the limbs are all kind of interlinked in there. I'll request, Anil, Dr. Anil wants to share a few words and then we'll do Padmaja and then we'll open the questions, I guess.
I will let Padmaja go first.
Yeah.
Namaste to you all. Hello, everyone. As a primary care physician, watching and hearing all of your conversations and the knowledge and information I gathered from reading multiple books, hearing multiple. The points I want to bring is very simple. As Dr. Cashman mentioned, mind, body, spirit, they are all interrelated. how they are interrelated is what I will go in a little bit deep in detail. What we see with our eyes sends signals to the brain, then the brain process. And the brain process is the way it affects us, our thinking. So there is a theory about mirror neurons, Dr. G.V. Ramachandran mentioned. If we are seeing a person being massaged, your body gets the reflex that you are getting the massage, or you feel this is how the porn, all those movies, the fighting and all those in the Indian movies or any other movies that makes you excited, get into that fighting mode, all those. So what you see is important, because it starts its own reactions in your body and giving the mechanism. What you eat is important. With, as Dr. Cashman as well as Dr. Jairam mentioned, there is a relationship between the gut and brain. What we eat by help of the bacteria in our body, make good neuropeptides that help us feel better and lead a good life, or that can make a bad neurochemicals that make us eat more bad foods, that is causing us to either weight gain or cause diabetes. And if you eat high salty foods and all, you get hypertension, you get more fatty foods, you get the cholesterol problem, then all these things cause the heart attacks, strokes, and dementias and all the other problems. So what you eat is very important. What you hear, this is another way of our body is gathering all the information from outside. If you are in a company of people that are doing bad habits, or they are not thinking of higher purpose things, then that's what, your brain is getting all the attention, and that's what it processes, and you develop a bad methods to handle the stress. If somebody, you saw them beating or punching somebody, other person, relieving the stress, you watch it and you think that's the way it's working, because the other person become very quiet. Oh, this is how I got the victory. Maybe this is how I do it. And you start punching, beating, it has its own problems, and your body gets into that process. Whereas the other one is, you watch a saints or seers or the well-knowledge people, sadgurus, gurus, all these people giving good ideas and doing good things. This is where they see a common man having problems, and they feel that pain, whatever pain that common man is going through or having the stress. They feel along with them and help them understand, and being kind. And sometimes we may help them with the material things like money or whatever it is, and we help them, they get better, then you feel good because I helped that person. That empathy, compassion helps you getting oh, I'm helping somebody, I'm doing great things. Then that elevates your mood, that makes your brain get good chemicals produced. Then you automatically, that may, that tells your body, oh, I'm doing good things, I need to live longer to do more good things. So body always takes these clues from different organs. Whereas if you are born in a good family, good things are happening, you got a good education, good earning power, and you are helping people, all these things reinforces what you're thinking, and you also recognize it every day. Oh, I'm fortunate, I got all these, I'm not having problems like other person. That's the gratitude, feeling really good about what you have and what you made out of yourself. And that gratitude again reinforces your good feel good mechanisms, as well as the good brain chemicals that are getting released, and that helps you. So the other one is what you smell. What you smell, again, I think the smell is the one that leads us to either good foods, bad foods, good locations, bad locations, or a good nice garden. That's where you see all the flowers and all, enjoy. So these are the 5 organs, or what you feel on your body. The 5 basic organs is what makes us next steps. Then the next one in the Western theory, what do we need makes us go towards it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. what you need. If you are in a stage where you need food and all, then you think about the food and all. If you are in a little bit higher position, you think about your community safety and all. If you are in a higher level, you think about the well-being of the society. So sometimes what we go through is how our thought process or makes us go along those lines or work for those. So that's how the mind controls again our actions, our behavior, our goals, and our achievements. So the few other things, I think last few weeks we did talk about neuroplasticity, where all the things that I mentioned until now, we talked about how what we see, what we hear, what we think, what we smell, what we feel is then how it changes your brain. The neuroscientists already proved the even the structures in the brain either get atrophied or go down in size, or they get bigger and making you get more anxious, more depression, and all those things. The other factor is how do we prevent all the things, all the impulses we are getting from the organs into the brain and making us not go in the wrong direction. This is where the yoga helps. As as Mr. Chonkalekam mentioned, it's the exercise part of the asanas help the physical body. The meditation part of the helps with the mental and emotional and spiritual. You can use it for a spiritual one as doing meditation by mantra, chanting something is what our religious do, or praying. Different other religions do. In Christianity, they do praying, but it's all a meditation. You are focusing on that part. That helps you release your stress and focus you on the well-being of your body. Or sometimes bhajans or dancing. Different cultures do a different way of this meditation. We have to bring in all the other cultures that are doing good in every part of the world. What else? The meditation part, there is already scientifically proven that it helps with the anxiety. It helps with the depression. It also helps with when you are going in the wrong direction. That's called meta-awareness. Once you start paying attention to it, then you know when you are off the track. So immediately you pull back yourself. That itself becomes make you more able to stay with the focus. That improves with the attention. It's been proven in the army. So the next one is how it's going to affect us. About the placebo-nocebo theory, Dr. Manchkanti as well as Dr. Cashman mentioned. If somebody goes to a doctor and say, I got this, X-ray showing problems, then if you say, yeah, you have a problem, then immediately that other person goes, yes, I do have a disease. Even the doctor endorsed it. So I need a treatment. And then they won't listen to you after that. Whatever you provide the treatment, they don't think about it. All they want is that operation. Then the mind takes you into a different direction. Whereas if you say a different way, they already made up all the reading Googles and all those things. They made up their mind and they say, I want this surgery. I want you to do it. So this is where their mind anxiety is taking over the actual problem. In medical school as well as residency, we heard, don't do CAT scans, don't do cultures, don't do all those things, because you will find not every person is 100% like the other person. If you find something wrong in their gland, we call them incidentalomas, meaning by incident, you found them. It has no disease effects. But once you say you got a mass in that gland, that's it. The patient starts thinking along those lines. At the same time, you take a person's urine or blood, you culture, they will grow in a different bacteria. It doesn't mean you have to treat it, but the patient feels that you have to be treated. So then they start all that stress. What else? Points, I think. So the good practices, all the religions mention is eat good, think good, see well, be with the nice people. So you learn good mannerisms, good habits, good traditions, good thought process, and be kind to each other. As I mentioned, the empathy, compassion, gratitude, realizing all the good things you are already blessed, that makes you go in the right direction. I think if you play with the snow or dirt, the way you roll, the ball can get bigger or if you roll it in the opposite direction, the ball can get smaller and smaller. That's the way I think I would present. It all depends on the information you get and you put it together. You can make a bigger ball of problems or lesser small of the ball, lesser ball or more happiness. That's where I would stop.
Oh, thank you so much. It was, very, how to control the mind and, stress management, and then it will lead to the diseases management and everything, and, lifestyle, and then, yogas and everything is in there. Because we started a little bit late with this new platform, and then logging into this thing is in there. I'll request Dr. Anil to share a few words, and then, Venkatesham will say a few words, and then we'll conclude, I think. Yeah. Anil, go ahead. Yeah.
I think I will share a couple of things. We are like the screen in a movie theater. That is at the pure consciousness. We are the screen. The movies are like, it could be sad, it could be happy, it could be funny, it could be actions. These are the mind which is playing all these actions on that background of screen. At the level of screen, we are not affected, should not be affected by all these actions, whether it's an action-packed movie, whether it's a joy, whether it is sad movie, whether it is funny movie. That is the life. So as long as your mind does not get perturbed with all this, that's what is needed to manage yourself in a way that we don't have the stressors, or how to be, even if we have stress, how to manage ourselves with calmness, unperturbed mind. It does not come easy. It does not come easy. In the war of Mahabharata, Krishna went to Duryodhana, and then he went to the Arjuna not to go to the war. But their reply was similar. If you see, Duryodhana said, I want to do whatever I want to do. I know what is right. I know what is wrong. But this is what I want, compelled to do it. He was obsessed. At the same time, Arjuna also replied the same way, but he said, I will leave whatever you say, I will do it, Krishna. That was the attitude he had. Basically, they had both, the answers were about the same, but when it comes to Arjuna, he said, what you want me to do, I will do it. So I don't want to use the Sanskrit phrase, it is too much for this platform, but they very nicely explained. The other thing is, I want to say is, what divinize your relationship with human beings. Divinize your relationship with human beings and humanize your relationship with divine. Humanize your relationship with divine. That will help very much. And I will stop here because of the shortage of time. I will talk about a little bit more if we have time next time.
I would like to add one more point to what I said earlier. I forgot to mention the feel and touch. So how it affects, like the pets, the flowers, or nicer things, or babies. When you hold them, or you are playing with them, your body releases certain chemicals called vasopressin. And that makes your body go into relax, and oxytocin is another hormone that makes that bonding. That's a feel-good hormone also. So that's one point I want to mention. The other one is like what Dr. Anil Rao mentioned. A lot of things life brings to us, but the way we should be reacting is like the water on the lotus leaf. They do come, and it doesn't affect the leaf. It just comes and rolls off. That's the way we have to take the life. We got to do what we got to do, but not worry about the results and focus on the results, but focus on the process, what we need to do. Like we are doing for this book. We need to gather all the information. Where how many people it helps, how many people we don't know. We leave it and just focus on doing the best job. That's another point. Thank you. That's all.
Yeah, in the restraints of the time in there, it's wonderful. I think, the lifestyle and then how to manage the stress, controlling the mind, managing the stress, and will ultimately lead to the disease management and everything. 70-80% are psychosomatic. The screen concept, the hormonal concept is very well explained. Thanks so much, Venkatesham. You want to close it up? I think because it's a matter of the time there. So, Venkat. Venkat, are you there? Yeah. You can go ahead and then say the final words there because of time restrictions there. So will be next week. You want to do the work-life balance, or I don't know, Anil. I think in
last 4 weeks. Last 4 weeks, we are saying what we do is one more week we'll do on brain exercise. May onwards in the window either on lungs or on the heart. Either we choose. But meanwhile, we need to work on the earlier book. So to release one book before we go to third chapter issue. So third, so we need to little expedite, and then now
I think
whatever we have done today, it will be on YouTube, and by tomorrow it will be uploaded. But next 6 hours will be live. But as of now, this time it will be in the next YouTube. Tomorrow it will be on the concluding session will be there. This on brain. Next, we go to either you decide on or on heart.
Yeah.
One of the
I think next week we'll do
because these are
the work-life balance and then that kind of stuff regarding the mind, and then we'll go to the cardiology. I think because it's a bigger event there. So and then Raghu and then Kalyan can start the leading the cardiology because it's a big part in their heart diseases, hypertension, diabetes.
So, but
cardiology, and then we can go for the respiratory and sleep and other ones in there. So.
but I want some writings to come.
I think having problem with your speaker. I think voice is not clear there.
But voice is not clear. You are able to listen.
I think everybody was on the, this thing is there. Yeah, I think your speaker is not, the lot of trouble. We can't hear it is there. But I think if you can share it on the group, it's in there. I think we're all writing up. I think everybody is online there. So I think,
Okay.
we'll go with this.
You.
Thank you so much for everybody because of the technicality. And then this is the first time we are on this thing, having a little bit there, but the issues will be solved and people get used to it. And you all have a great Sunday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Padma. Thank you, Anil. And thank you, everybody, Lingam, for sharing this thing. Is in there.
Thank you.
We'll conclude the session with
Thank you,
a good
Venkat.
word. Yeah.
My pleasure.